What's going on, guys? My name is Prospekt, and today I'm going to be reviewing Viva La Vida, or Death and All His Friends by Coldplay. Now, I was originally going to troll you guys by reviewing just this Prospekt's March EP. But then I watched some other reviews of this album, and I got this fantastic idea of actually reviewing Viva La Vida as a double album, because it kind of is. This is the Viva La Vida Prospekt's March edition. As you can see right there, Prospekt's March edition. It contains the Viva La Vida album plus the Viva La Vida album plus the Prospekt's March EP, which is really good. And yeah, it's pretty much a double album. Really good. You can buy the single album on the jewel case. But I think getting this is much better content. Anyways, yeah. So let's start. Released in 2008, Coldplay's most successful album, up to date with their breakout and most successful single, Viva La Vida. Yeah, so I'm reviewing both Viva La Vida and Prospekt's March, so bear with me here. So Viva La Vida starts with Live in Technicolor 1. Originally was going to have lyrics, it was going to be a 4-minute track, until one fan just said, hey, that's a go-to single, and so they removed the lyrics and made it just an instrumental, a 2-minute instrumental. Really good, it starts with atmospheric sounds from John Hopkins, who produced the entirety of this album. This was released in 2008, and his album Inside was released in 2009. And that album features Light Through the Veins, which is sampled a lot of times in this album. A lot. Yeah, Viva La Vida was produced by Bronino and John Hopkins, but John Hopkins did the sampling. So yeah, Live in Technicolor. Really good. I really like the atmospheric sounds. It has a world feel to it. Doesn't really feel like it's just from England or from the UK. It feels universal. And that flows perfectly into Cemeteries of London, which when they were recording this album, in interviews they said this was gonna have Spanish influences, and I believe this is one of those tracks, because it has like flamenco bits here. If you listen to Stephen Hackett's music, the guitarist from Genesis, in his album Out of the Child's Mouth, he has a track called Nomads, which he also uses flamenco music, with like clapping and stuff. Cemeteries of London is a very good example of that, very eerie, very dark song with the reminiscent of London. Really like the intensification in Chris Martin's voice, really good. The guitars as well, there's a little bit of a guitar solo in the middle. Really good. Johnny Buckland here has really good guitar work. Yeah, really, really enjoyable. Lost. Now, this was a thing. There are many versions of Lost. The album version, as you can see right there, is Lost with a exclamation point. There is Lost with a question mark, which is basically an acoustic version that was released as there was a Lost EP, 2 parts with many different versions Lost. There's Lost with a plus, which you can see in the Prospekt's March EP, which is featuring JEC in rapping. That's weird. There's Lost at, which is a live version, and Lost minus, which is an instrumental. The regular song you get here, really good, really catchy, really pop song. The pounding drums are really great. There's the regular drum percussion from World Champion, and the pounding drums are done by Guy Behrman. Yeah, he doesn't. The bass is not present on this track, except at the end of the song, when once again the guitar solo comes in. That's when Guy Behrman starts with the bass and stops with the drums. Yeah, really good, really catchy pop song, enjoyable. 42. Now this is one of the most underrated songs from Coldplay. It's a really good. It's kind of an experiment between an instrumental and an actual track. It starts off slow with the piano, just little notes here and there, and then it goes into a much wider, much better place with the guitars and the fast percussion. Once again, really enjoyable. I really like it. I really like the instrumental part of it. And yeah, the like chorus, I guess you could say. You thought you might be a ghost. I really like it. And yeah, it's one of the most underrated tracks. It's kind of nowhere on this album because it's kind of a concept album as well. It tells a story of like a kingdom or something. But it's kind of lost. I mean, it's only like talking about the dead, the people who died in the army, fighting for the kingdom, I guess. But it's kind of lost, just like the previous track. But yeah, really good, really enjoyable, really like it. Lovers in Japan / Reign of Love. Lovers in Japan is a really good track. With the keyboard, the video, by the way, this is one of the singles. The video, the cameraman, I think, passed away because they were just spinning around a lot. So I think the cameraman went dizzy and died. Watch the video. Not sponsored. Yeah, Lovers in Japan, I really like the track. It like doesn't even say Lovers in Japan. It's one of those tracks. It just says Lovers once. Once again what sets the rhythm is the keyboard, the piano. If you've seen the song live, you see that, and in the video as well, they throw little paper butterflies. It's really a shame that they don't play the song anymore because I think it's really a highlight and a really cool thing to play live. But yeah, they don't play it anymore, which is really depressing. Excellent track. It's one of the highlights for me. Unfortunately, the second part of this album, Reign of Love, I can't stand it. Boring. It's just boring. I would have preferred in the Prospekt March EP. They have Lovers in Japan Osaka-san Mix, which is basically a liver version with a lot more like woes and clapping and that. And I would have preferred that because it eliminates Reign of Love. I mean, it's a good track and I understand what they were trying to do, but it's just boring. And once again, if it's nowhere on the record. Fortunately, it's all up here from here. Yes. / hidden track Chinese Sleep Cult. Now on Cemeteries of London, I think there's a hidden track because on the Prospekt March EP there's Postcards from Far Away, which is a little piano ballad, and Cemeteries of London there's another little piano ballad. It's like 5 seconds at the end, which I like to call Postcards from Close Away or something. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, Yes has a hidden track Chinese Sleep Cult, but I'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, Yes, this is a kind of like a stereotypical Asian song with a lot of like guitars and violins. Really indie. Yeah, and Chris Martin's voice is a highlight here because he's mostly lying on low notes. Is it a bad track? No, it's a really good experiment, and it's one of those songs that Coldplay have never really done before that I don't know, people really like. And the same goes for the hidden song Chinese Sleep Cult. It's a really good guitar song. Johnny Buckland leads the entire song with his guitar. I don't know how he did it, but it's a really powerful track. Really powerful thing, and the purpose of why there are like 5 hidden tracks here is because so it didn't cost a lot on iTunes, which is I think it's kind of a shame, because I would rather listen to Chinese Sleep Cult than listen to Yes. Not that Yes isn't a bad track, but Chinese Sleep Cult is much better. There are some lyrics in it which are like just like sleep tonight or like sleep crucify or that, but you can't really hear. There's just like ooh. Yeah, once again, just the guitar from Johnny Buckland, amazing. And this leads into Viva La Vida, the hit single. Amazing track. There's Just Like Yellow from Precious, which I will be reviewing later. Just like Yellow, it there's a reason why this album won like 5 Grammys, the 2009 Grammys, and it still won. I think won in like 2010. Yeah, Viva La Vida. With like, you never thought of this from an indie rock band. Strings, violins, pounding drums, church bells. You've never seen this before, and it works. It's perfect. The lyrics talking about the death of a king. Now the video is interesting. The video kind of shows like an animated version of the cover, which they later did with Ghost Stories, and shows an animated version of it with like cracked video and the band members just playing. But there's a much more interesting video done by Coldplay, which Chris Martin is just like in a king outfit walking around London, and then he sits in like the same chair and location in which the Depeche Mode shot their video for Enjoy the Silence, which I think is a pretty cool Easter egg. Really cool video. I like it more than the actual video from the band. Yeah, we believe that it's a perfect track. If you don't like it, you got problems. No, but yeah, it's pretty much impossible to not like it, unless you listen to it every minute of your life, in which case, yeah, I can understand. Violet Hill, another amazing track. Starts off with, once again, atmospheric sampling from John Hopkins, and then it's Coldplay's, well, people say it's Coldplay's first attempt at a protest song, but it really isn't. Their first was really Spies from Parachutes, which got the album banned in China, I believe. Yeah, Violet Hill, a protest song, really strong. Once, just like 42, starts with the piano, and it's actually the oldest song from the band. The line it starts with, it was a long and dark December. That was Chris Martin presented that line to Guy Berman, and Guy Berman was like, "Yep, I'm in your band." The oldest lyric from the band, even more than Brothers and Sisters, and that's from like 1997, right before they were even called Coldplay. Yeah, amazing. It grows into a much heavier, darker place with Chris Will Champion's pounding drums, and yeah, then you get the chorus. If you love me, won't you let me go? Amazing, and again just pounding drums, dun dun, feels like a hammer, and yeah, the video is really fun. All the videos from Viva La Vida are fun. Chris Martin is just playing with a magnifying glass, and the band members are just like climbing around the mountain and doing other kind of stuff. It's really fun. I really like the video, and yeah, in the second verse of the song, there's this little guitar chime from Jenny Buckland, which is interesting. You don't really hear it because you're kind of buried in the mix, but then there is a guitar solo which is just fantastic. It is amazing. The best guitar solo from Jenny Buckland is on Violet Hill. It is amazing. Heavy, it's punchy, it has a hook. Fantastic. Amazing. And yeah, the song progresses into that. What I don't like is the ending, because it's a really heavy track and it goes into a really awesome place, but then it just fades into a ballad, which is kind of like, it's kind of anticlimactic, but it's still really good. You're like, wow, that was awesome. And yeah, following that, Strawberry Swing. This song, the video once again is, well, it's about like Chris Martin being like a superhero and saving the damsel in distress, as always, as you do. But just, it was entirely painted frame by frame by frame in a street, painted with chalk. Who has the patience to do that? No one. Like, I would go mad. I don't have the patience to draw frame by frame by frame every video, and it's a complex video at that, with chalk. How? And it's magical. It's one of the most beautiful videos I've seen. Yeah, the song, it's you actually hear the producer Ron Eno like complaining about the tempo, like, and then the song starts. Really good. Once again, kind of Asian-ish stereotype. Really good, and yeah, there once again there's a part when Chris Martin goes ah, and the melody is just continuing. Really enjoyable. I really like it. It's a love song, and yeah, I think it's a nice little cute song for the second to last. Death and All of His Friends is the last track, with the hidden track, The Escapist. Now, Death and All of His Friends once again starts off slow with the piano, and then the guitar comes around, and then the bass comes in, and the drums kick in, and then there's a bit of an instrumental part, and then Chris Martin joins some vocals while he's playing the piano. It's all a big crescendo, and it becomes just absolutely fantastic when there's the chorus. I don't want to follow Death and All of His Friends. It is beautiful. And just like that, it slowly fades away. And you're like, no, come back. I like you. And then just as it fades away, the same atmospheric sounds the album begins with circle back to make the album a entire circle. With The Escapist. The Escapist is a full sample from Light Through the Veins from John Hopkins, which features a small lyric, and in the end we all try to find the escape route or something like that. And it's just the most beautiful ender for an album. That's such an amazing album. My thoughts on the actual Viva La Vida album: 10 out of 10 would recommend. Buy it. It's a must-have in your discography, in your music collection. Now for the Prospekt March EP. Live in Technicolor, true lyric version of Live in Technicolor, fantastic as well. It's kind of the only single I've seen come from an EP. I've never seen a single come from an EP with the video. The video is kind of weird. It's really creepy. But yeah, Live in Technicolor, true, amazing. The lyrics as well, just rapidly release me, now my feet won't touch the ground, there's a cold war coming, fantastic. Also kind of a protest song, but not really. Postcards from Far Away, once again a little 42-second ballad. They like doing these little short songs that don't even come close to a minute. It's really nice, I really like it. It's like the intro from The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, but slowed down. I don't know why it's like a track. They should have used it for like the ending portion of like Live in Technicolor, or the beginning of the next track, Glass of Water. Now, the reason why they didn't include this is because it was a bit heavier, and so they weren't sure how fans would react to it, which is kind of strange because Violet Hill is the heavy song on the album. No idea why they thought Glass of Water was heavy. It's amazing. It's kind of like a Don't Let It Break Your Heart. And yeah, I really, really, really enjoy it. It's kind of random. Glass of Water. Rainy Day follows this continue. I like thinking this is of a pair. Rainy Day starts with funky little sound effects which remind me of Where's My Water. You know that app that went viral a couple years ago? Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, it reminds me of that, and yeah, very, very cute pop thing as well. Yeah, once again, the David Rossi plays the violin here. He does a fantastic job on Rainy Day as well. Prospekt's March / Poppy Fields. Title track for the EP. It's beautiful as well. It starts off slow as well. Like you saw the smoke and the Indians and that. Kind of like a reminiscence from A Rush of Blood to a Head, the song. And yeah, then it grows into a much beautiful place with once again the electric violin, and that flows the same for Poppy Fields. It's a short little thing of like synthesizer, but it's really cute. It's kind of like Death and All of His Friends. It goes into a much beautiful place as the song progresses. Lost Plus is just basically Lost with some rapping in the middle. Really weird. If you're from Mexico, even though it has the track listing Lost, the track is not actually on the CD. Like you put it on iTunes and it doesn't have the track. You listen to it on like a record player, it doesn't have the track. Rip off, I know. Then Lovers in Japan is a custom mix. I already explained that. Enjoyable. I would prefer it to be on the original album rather than the EP. And now my feature one, Touch the Ground. That's the name of the song. Bit of a disappointment for the ending of the album. It's an acoustic song reminiscent of Swallowed by the Sea and Till Kingdom Come from X and Y. Yeah, it's enjoyable. Once again, kind of an anticlimactic ending. Now, there are like 4 or 5 songs from this album that didn't make the cut. One of which is Bloodless Revolution. Check it out. It's like a 2-minute and 36-second song. It's beautiful. It's just piano and vocals, and it's really good. no idea what song kind of like took over that, but it's really good demo. It's up on YouTube. You can just search Coldplay Bloodless Revolution. Really good demo. Really like it. Yeah, so overall, once again, I think of it as a double album, and also kind of a concept album, kind of like Duke from Genesis. It's kind of a half concept album, and it's also kind of not. Once again, buy it, definitely. I recommend it. And yeah, scores 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. Would recommend IGN. You can get the jewel case, as I said, but I really recommend this, the Prospekt March edition. With both Viva La Vida and the Prospekt March EP. Really good, once again features both, and you just get a lot of content. Really good. I think it's Coldplay's best album. So yeah, I reviewed this because it's the month of March, and Prospekt's March. And next month, I shall be reviewing A Head Full of Dreams, because I am going to Coldplay's A Head Full of Dreams tour on April, and next month is April, so that's why I'm reviewing A Head Full of Dreams. Anyways, yeah, buy it, just buy it, and yeah, see you guys later. See ya. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, I bid you all farewell. Bye-bye.